Let's go over to the CBN News Desk.
Gordon, healthcare reform is now the law of the land, but President Obama is still campaigning to persuade Americans it's a good idea. He's on the road again today, and as Jennifer Wishon reports, he has a lot of convincing to do.
A majority of Americans still disapprove of the plan, but the president is asking folks to give the new law time to work.
This health care tax credit is pro-jobs, it's pro-business, and it starts this year.
He has his work cut out for him. According to a USA Today Gallup poll, nearly 2/3 of Americans fear the massive legislation will increase their cost and decrease their quality of care. And 53% surveyed called the method Democrats used to pass the bill an abuse of power. Now, just months before the midterm elections, Republicans are promising change.
We'll stop these sleazy Chicago-style sausage making that went on behind closed doors.
While the president is expected to be visible throughout the country promoting health care reform through November, Democrats who voted for the legislation are, at least over the Easter recess, keeping a low profile. Jennifer Wishon, CBN News, Washington.
The man who gunned down a Kansas abortion doctor will face life in prison without the possibility of parole for 50 years. The Kansas judge pointed out that Scott Roeder had, quote, firmly held and honestly believed convictions, but he said he broke the law and must face the consequences. Roeder said he obeyed God's law to save babies by killing Dr. George Tiller, one of the few U.S. doctors who perform partial birth abortions. A high-ranking Army general who spoke out against the president's stance on Don't Ask, Don't Tell will not be reprimanded. Lieutenant General Benjamin Mixon wrote an article in a military newspaper, the Stars and Stripes, encouraging troops to write their representatives in support of keeping the military's ban on gays serving openly. Top military leadership condemned Mixon for challenging the president, but he will not be punished for insubordination. I spoke with retired three-star General Jerry Boykin about the issue. He knows General Mixon and applauds what he did.
At the end of the day, the military is a very close-knit community, entity, and I believe that most of them, by a pretty sizable majority, believe that this is still aberrant behavior that is inconsistent with military life, and Nixon was reflecting that view.
The Pentagon is trying to figure out the best way to implement the president's request to repeal Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Christians converged on Jerusalem to celebrate Good Friday today. Tourists and other believers made their way through the Old City to mark the crucifixion of Jesus. A sunrise Easter service will be held Sunday at the Garden Tomb, and we'll have video of that on CBN.com. This Easter will be different at many churches around the U.S. Their pastors will be preaching without their shoes. It's called Barefoot Sunday, a campaign by Samaritan's Feet. They want to raise awareness about global poverty and help provide shoes for millions around the world who can't afford them. Operation Blessing continues to help thousands of families recovering from the earthquake that hit Haiti January 12th. Recently, OB opened one of the first schools at Camp Dadadal, one of the many tent cities in Haiti. The school is for children in grades 1 through 6. About 550 children are enrolled and receive a free lunch daily. Operation Blessing partnered with the Navy Seabees based in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Together they built benches and desks for the school. You can find out more by going to ob.org.